Okay, I'm going to say shalom to everyone. I'm going to go. I wanted to do this live so I can show you this information in regards to this Cern. The Bible spoke of this. But before I get into the scriptures, of course, that's the main thing. But how would we understand if Cern is something to really get into? And I found some groundbreaking information in regards to this. So I want to show you exactly how a lot of the information that you hear about CERN, because the headquarters, I believe, the big old contraption, this machinery is in Geneva. So based on that, we understand that there's a lot of in Europe, in that vicinity, there's always a lot of what people would say meteor showers and comets and falling stars. Okay, in that particular area. Um, the reason why is because Satan right now is using a particular people in the earth to bring forth his another level of his power. The Most High is allowing him to do that. Now, I don't want to, put my shoes on before my pants. So what I would like to do is get into some terms first, so you can understand that this is actually written in Scripture. All right. So it's not going to take that much time, hopefully, but I want to make sure that people can understand. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get into a few terms. I'm see if I can share the screen with you all to show this particular information. All right. Give me a minute here so I can set up the screens. Give me a minute here. Now, when you go into the Strong's Concordance, the Greek, okay, hopefully you can hear me. I can't be so loud because it's late. So you may want to wear headphones. When you go into the Strong's Concordance, matter of fact, before you even do that, I'm going to go into the etymology of the word CERN first. Okay, so give me a minute. I'm about to pull it up so you can see it. One minute here. All right. So now you should see it on your screen. And as you see, I type where it says search CERN. Okay. You press OK or whatever. And this is what you get: acorn, which is a little weird, right? Then it says nut, common, Germanic. So we understand that it's from German. Okay, when you do the research on German people, they away to the so-called Jewish people. That they're the same bloodline. They acting like they don't like each other and all that, but they're really the same bloodline under the 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 Nephilim. Okay, period. But I'll get into that another day. Now it says cognate, Old Norse, Akarn, okay, Dutch acre, okay, Low German acre, acorn, German acre, Gothic, akron, fruit, originally the mast of any forest tree and ultimately related via notion of fruit of the open for unclosed land. To Old English, acre, so it's like acres of land, and it says open land, Gothic, acres, field, Old French, agrin, fruits and vegetables from Frankish or some other Germanic source. Then it tells you to go see acre. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? And there's other definitions here. But let's use this here. Acre, like, land, right? And this is where it gets more deep, all right? So we're going to go into acre. And I'm going to show you how this leads up to scripture and how we can understand the spirit behind the word itself, CERN, all right? So now you see the word here, acre, tilled, field, open land, from Proto-Germanic, across, field, pasture, cognates, Old Norse, Old Saxon, Old Frisian, acre, Middle Dutch, acre, Dutch, acre. It's a lot of terms here, but the big term I want to use is right here. You see that? Because we know that our people wrote under the Hellenistic time frame. We translated the Hebrew and Greek to the English. So what you got to look at is this right here. And when it says Sanskrit, this is very important. Across, okay, which links to acre. You know how they would always go into information about the UFOs under the crop, dusting areas where you would see a bunch of land, and they would make these different signs and different shapes in the fields. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit in this video. This is plain open country. All right. So let's look up this word in the Greek concordance. Now it's going to be spelled a little different, but it's going to lead. The way you do it is you're going to understand that it's going to say pretty much the same definition, but the discipline of the English throughout certain times will change the linguistics. Okay, so let's go to the Strong's Concordance, and as you already know, I have it here already. You're going to see this here. Now that's very deep, and I'm going to show you why. Acreus is the same thing, wild, okay, as pertaining to the country. So we understand the country is in Geneva that's dealing with this, literally, natural or figuratively, fierce. Hold up. Wild, raging. Now let's get that real quick. Now I didn't pull it up in the scriptures, but maybe since the Bible is up already, it may allow me to do it, but I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is go to Jude, right? I'm going to go to Jude. Give me a minute here. I'm going to go to Jude chapter 1, verse 13. I'm going to start at the 12th verse. Jude chapter 1, verse 12. And it says, "These are spots in your feast of charity, when thy feast with you feeding themselves without fear, clouds, they are without water, carried away, carried about of winds, trees, whose fruit." You notice it's talking about what we just read, wild country. When you read in the reason why I'm going here, you're going to find out the reason why I'm reading this. You see where it says pasture right here, field, okay? And then it says, and this is the way you study too. So you all are getting pretty much a glimpse of how I study the scriptures and break down certain words. So we're going to go back. This thing let me. Where it says Cern right here, search. Come on, computer, search. Okay. Then it says Cern. Then you're going to see nut, common, dramatic, all these different terms. Originally of vegetables. You see what it says vegetables, fruit of the open or unclosed land. Now let's read this scripture again. Open land, fruits. You see that, right? Vegetables. Okay. Now when you go to Jude chapter 1, verse 12 again. So you're going to understand exactly what this is going to. These are spots in your feast of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit wherewith without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots, raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is to reserve the blackness of darkness forever. Now, you see in verse 13, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars. That's very deep. To whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Now, what is a wandering star? Now, you put in wandering, even though this may be a little off the topic, wandering, right? Very easy to do. See this word here? This is where your word planted or planet comes from. Planetus, a rover, planet, wondering. A lot of people probably didn't know that. An erratic teacher, which is these people that follow the same thing of the fallen angels. They're erratic. They're not really teaching you anything. So, but this leads you to understand what this particular understanding is. Raging, where it says raging in verse 13, raging waves of the sea. Jude 1 verse 13, raging waves of the sea, is actually talking about the fallen angels. Okay, and I'm going to show you there's going to be a specific angel that's going to fall in Revelations, but I want to show that so we can see that it's very clear. All right, so let's go to Hebrew number 71, which is for Cern. Because see, this what links in. So you can't just put in Cern, you're going to get the definition out. What you have to do is you go to Cern here in the etymology of the word itself, and then you're going to find out what it links to. It links to acre. Okay? Acre. And then you read on, and then you got to find the Greek terminology for it. And then you're going to see a cross. Very clear. Then, once you see that word there, you go here and put in, you may just have to put in A, and then it will tell you all the definitions pertaining to the letter A. And then you're going to find, which takes a while to do, so I'm doing it the quick way, and it's very clear. Country. See that? As pertaining to the country, literally natural or figuratively, fierce, wild, raging. Now, this is what's deep. It's giving you, you can put in Greek number 71 as well, which links to it. Greek number 71. Why I start here? Oh, it is. Okay, right here. A primary verb properly to lead, by implication to bring, drive. You see that word right here, reflective? Reflexively. That's very deep, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Especially past time. You see where it says past, then time, or figuratively induce, be, bring forth, carry, let go, lead away, be open, right? This is how you find out all the junk that Satan tries to lead people away from the truth. Be open. Very clear. Induce. Now, this is the big word here. Reflexively. What does this mean? Let's find out. Let's see if it opens so it can work. And it may not because I didn't pull it up before. Let's see what reflexively means. Right? For the dictionary. And you're going to find out exactly what it means. And I'm going to see if I could pull up a picture for you so you can, so it'll be, it'll make sense here. Give me a minute here. And it says very clear. But it's not going to be clear until I break it down for you. All right? Now, you see where it says of a vector space? This one here. Vector space having the property that the dual space of the given vector space equals the given vector space. And people are looking at this like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, right? So this is what you do. You put in vector space, and you're gonna be surprised what you see. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, so we can understand exactly what this Cern is all about. Now, mind you, we started all the way from Cern and all that. Vector space. Now you go to images. So it's giving you the same stuff here, the same definition. So you go to images, right? And let's see what images you see here. And I'm glad this thing is working right. Vector space model. So now we understand what this vector space is. So we know that something is going to come out of space based on what we're reading when we talk about Cern and all that, right? You see that. And this is your vector space. Okay, let me blow it up a little bit. You see that, right? And look at this stuff here, all these stars and all this stuff, right? The bright one. It's funny how they put that bright one there. So we're going to talk about this bright one. It looks like it's coming around. It's kind of like, doing its thing to get to the point where it's about to descend. So is this written in scripture about this vector space and Cern being in Geneva, and they got this big old machine that they built to open the bottomless pit. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the scriptures say. We can go into the scriptures now. All right. So let's go to Revelations. Verse 2. Okay. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit. This is the fifth angel. If you don't know the whole thing, but let me just read it. Let's see. I have to be very limited on how I do this because I have so many windows open, and I'm thanking Most High that allowed me to go this far. All right, so let's go to Revelations 9. I'm going to start at the first verse. All right. Revelations 9. And it says, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And this is deep, and it says, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. Now, I'm going to stop there so we can understand what these locusts are. A lot of us already know, but others that may not read scripture on a deeper level may not understand. Locusts upon the earth. So now, we're going to go to what locust is. But you can't put in locust. You got to go to the Hebrew, and you have to put in Gentile. Right? You're going to see locusts. See that, right? Or a flight of locusts, Gentile. So we understand that Satan, through his Cern machine, is going to use Gentile nations in their spirits, because I'm sure it's just not Gentiles. It's probably some black people or some Hebrew people under the Gentile spirit of Esau. Okay, the evil seed will create this machine, so eventually it will materialize so much energy to create a doorway like a tesseract. Because that's another name that they use in the movie. What was it? The Avengers. A machine, a cube that would be able to harness energy from space to bring forth spirits or demons. Very clear. Heathen nation people. So I had to show that so we can understand that this is what they're going to use. So let's go back to the scripture. All right. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth. And I'm going to tell you what this grass is. This grass is the people, right? It's not just talking about regular grass. It's talking about any person that has the mark of the Most High. Grass is life. Grass represents life, okay? Grass of the earth. Neither any green thing. So anything that's green is living. Anything, you see what I'm saying? That you're living. But if you're rotting out, you're dead. You're nothing. So it's talking about neither any green thing, neither any tree. It's talking about the tree of life. Those men which have not the seal. So now you understand it's talking about men, not just some grass. Men, those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Okay, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh the man. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it. So what's going to happen is people are going to be trying to kill themselves, but it's not going to be. It's going to be to the point where they won't have that ability to do that. It just there won't be any time to try to kill yourself. You're going to break a leg, and you're just not going to die. And she'll desire to die and death shall flee from them. Okay? And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. So we understand that there's going to be an army of people coming against, you know, others to cause this particular event. And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold. So we're talking about a man in like an armored man, and their faces were as the face of men, and they had hair as the hair of women. So we understand that there's a nation involved in having long hair, straight long hair, blonde, blue eyes. Not like I said, not all Europeans are evil, but we understand that these people are the ones under the evil seed of Esau that's still angry at his brother. We're talking about the seed of Amalek will come against the children of Israel, all right? And their teeth were as the teeth of lions, because when you put on a mask, you see when you got armor on, you know, looking like something from 300. That's what John was seeing in his trance or his dream when he was, you know, exiled to the island of Patmos. Verse 8, and they had hair as the hair of women. I'm gonna read that again. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Verse 9, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings. When it says sound of their wings, it's talking about airplanes. Okay, was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. Okay, so it's going to be a war. And they had tails like unto scorpions. It's talking about your stealth bombers and, you know, your all those different types of, you know, war uh, planes. And there were stings in their tails. Okay, when it says stings in their tails, it is actually talking about missiles. Okay, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon. Okay, so who is Apollyon? Let's find out. Real easy. Of course, I've done this, but this is almost like a class setting. So go to the Greek, put in Apollyon, boom, it's going to tell you who it is. Just that clear. The destroyer, Satan himself. Okay? So now, we understand that Satan is going to reveal himself pretty soon. I'm talking about really reveal himself. Now, of course, he have used an army of people. Of course, he used the Tower of Babel under Nimrod. He's always used key players. But there's going to be a time, and we're very close, that he's going to actually reveal himself, pretty much. So we understand, based on this small little video, um, there's going to be a big change coming. And that's why this September 23 thing is going on. You got the anniversary of the Million Man March thing in October 10th going on. There's a lot going on with race, and all of this is because of spirits. They're already being let forth. A lot of us can't get along. You know, people act all inordinate and crazy in the streets and just doing, you know, if your eyes are open, you're going to see certain things. But what they're going to do is they're going to actually use that Cern machine to enhance the um, the abilities. And I really don't want to give him no credit to say that Satan has abilities, but he do, based on the Most High allowing him to have that. And a lot of people don't like to talk about Satan. If you're scared of him, he got you already. Period. There's no use of you praying to the Most High if you're scared of Satan. Okay, because we see that the grass, when we read in Revelations, that the grass won't be hurt. They won't be. He can't do anything to you, and that all this plays and is connected. The chemtrail program is connected. The genetically modified food is connected. You know, they blocking out the sun and all that. It's all connected to to your everyday living. You see what I'm saying? The anatomy of who you are. you become lower in vibration. And I say this a lot because of that, because of what they're doing. So a spirit can easily jump on anybody. Okay, so if you're not protected, if you don't stand his word, you're gonna be short. I don't care who you are. You know, everybody get caught up in everything else. But let me just go ahead and stop this here. Hopefully you all got something out of this. Um, you know, push this video because a lot of people really, or it's going to be a video on YouTube. A lot of people really need to understand that that Cern machine is is key. Okay, I mean, I'm convinced. It took me a while, but I went into the research, and it took me a while to go into it. That Cern machine is written in scripture. Okay, uh, it's very important for us to understand what it really means. So play back this video, you'll understand exactly what it is. And, you know, all praise to the Most High for giving us this knowledge that we can just go into certain things to kind of like break down what's really going on in Earth. Okay. So there you all have it. I'll be making more live feeds, of course. You know, anybody that want to get connected with the SSC, which is supports Saint Support community. We got that going. Thank the Most High. It has grew almost about 40 some members within 2 weeks. So thank the Most High for that. There's some big things going on. We're trying to get funds together to help out other people that may need help. So that is something that's very important as well because we're going to need each other. Very, I mean, we see it. Okay, if you're on Google, you can, I mean, even if it's a computer, we're all connected. You know, everybody else is asleep. Most people around you is going to be asleep. You're going to look like an outcast. They're not listening. They don't have the IQ to pay attention to what you're saying. They don't have any interest. So you're going to feel that you're an outcast, but you're really the end cast. You understand? We're at the end days where the elect few that are open in mind, that can understand, that can see, we're at the particular time that the Most High is shortening the times for Satan's kingdom. Okay, we gotta understand that because the Most High, if the Most High did not shorten the time, Satan will kill all of us. Okay, so there you have it. That's if you want to see that scripture, that's in Matthew chapter 24, around the 10th verse. All right, I'm out of here, or the 21st verse. All right, see you all soon. Shalom.